Hello, what I'm going to show you today is how I'm going to pot up my cucumbers into their final pots. Now, some cucumbers, in fact quite a few varieties, can actually be grown outside, whereas others can be either in or out, and some have to be grown inside. Now, the variety that I've got this year have to be grown inside because they are Spanish cucumbers, so they will get to about 6 inches long, and which is about that long, and they will sort of get quite sort of short and stumpy, and the skin is quite hard, so you have to peel it off. Now, if you grow these in Spain, then obviously they can go outside, but I'm growing mine inside because I don't live in Spain and the temperature is much cooler, and I feel that the temperature in the greenhouse is more Spanish-like. Don't actually know if that's a word, but who cares? So that's why I am growing mine inside. If I was growing them outside, I would plant them out at the beginning, or once all frost has gone in your area, and so for me that is the beginning of June, which it is now. But I'm going to plant mine into bigger pots, and I'm going to plant them into this sort of size pot. This is a 2 litre pot, yes, or a 17 centimetre pot, depending on where you get them from, depends whether they do litres or centimetres. I could, if I wanted to, plant them in a 3 litre pot, would be absolutely fine. Now, I like 3 litre pots because I can fit 2 3 litre pots in one of these trays absolutely perfectly. So a 3 litre pot is the maximum that I can do. But I've done all my cucumbers apart from this one, which I thought I would show you now. But before I show you how to plant it up, I just want to show you that we've got, hang on, can you see that? I'm sure you can. There's a flower there, and there's an itty bitty cucumber right at the back there. I've got another one coming up here and another one up there. You can see that one. Oh, and another one in there. So anyway, once they get going, then they seem to produce quite a few. So let me show you how I am going to transplant my cucumber into its final pot. Okay, so I have got my pot. I have half filled it with just normal multi-purpose compost. And what I'm going to do is, very carefully, I'm going to take my cucumber out of the pot. So just support the stem. Now, I think I most probably sowed about 2 or possibly 3 seeds in one pot. If you've got more than one coming up, then just don't separate them, just transplant them together. They will be perfectly happy. So just support the plant with 2 fingers, turn it upside down, give it a squeeze, and look, the roots have started to come through already, and hopefully it should come off quite quickly. I'm going to have to turn it this way, I'm afraid. Sorry. There we go. Now we can see why it took a little while to come out, because look at all those roots there, and that's just from one plant. So you can see it's definitely ready to go into its bigger pot. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it in the middle, push it down a little bit, and then there's all this space around the outside that we just need to fill with some more multi-purpose compost. Just push it in, make sure it fills all the gaps, so firm it down. If you are planting your cucumbers outside, then just dig a lovely big hole for them to go into, a little bit deeper than the pot that they were in, and then once you've dug your hole, if you want to put a little bit of water in the hole first and then put your plant in the hole, then you can do that. If you just want to put the plant straight in the hole without putting any water, then you can. Doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. And then all you need to do is then just fill in all the gaps around the plant with the soil that you dug out the hole. Just firm it in, And that is our cucumber all ready. Right, so that is my cucumber. All my cucumbers are now done. So I did a load and then I just left one so I could then show you. So all I'm going to do now is I will put it in its tray, and I will half fill this tray, so it will be about 1 inch deep of water. I will check again tomorrow, and if all that water has gone, then I will give it a little bit more. You don't want to keep them constantly wet. What you want to do is you want to put some water in, let all of that go away, and then put some more in. That way the roots and the plants aren't constantly wet. They don't mind being damp, but they just don't want to be over wet. And watering from the bottom like that means that the roots will then fill up this pot and the plant will grow much better. If all the roots have filled up the pot, then they've got lots of space to grow, lots of space to breathe, and then if the roots are happy, then the plant will be happy. Well, I will keep you updated on the progress of these. As we looked earlier on, we have got some little cucumbers already growing, so hopefully maybe in a couple of weeks I might be picking the first of the cucumbers, which will be so exciting. Love this time of year, don't you? Anyway, I will keep you updated on their progress. They will need a structure to climb up, unless of course you want to just let them sprawl all over the place. But if you have a specific area for them in the greenhouse, you will need to try and train them to grow up something. I usually tend to stake them with a bamboo cane, and you'll get little tendrils that tend to come off, and they'll just wrap themselves around anything that they can get hold of. And if that's the stick, you might sometimes have to encourage them to go, this is what you're supposed to be holding on to, not the plant next door, this is the stick. So sometimes you have to encourage them to cling on to the correct thing, and then it will grow up, and then it will be easier for you to harvest your cucumbers and to see them. Well, I hope you are growing cucumbers this year. There are so many different varieties out there to choose from, and they are just absolutely wonderful. Fresh cucumber is just amazing. Well, I hope you found what I've shown you useful, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.